Yes, my Between the Liners, welcome back to the Between the Lines podcast. I'm your host, Adnan. Manchester United have just beaten Nottingham Forest 3-0 in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final away from home. After two disappointing results, the draw against Palace, the last-minute winner for Arsenal where we lost at the Emirates, Manchester United have come through pretty comfortably, I'd like to say, against Nottingham Forest. Maybe some kind of uncomfortable moments, but overall pretty comfortable. Before I get into the game, by the way, I just wanted to say, why does Gary Neville keep saying Milicia when he's talking about Malacia? I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce his name, but where the hell has that come from? Gary, cut it out, yeah? Just say it normally like everyone else. Also, I wanted everyone to remember as well that we are playing games every 3-4 days, and it can't be easy for the players. So sometimes it might, obviously, like the defeat against Arsenal might hurt, but the reality is we can't be too harsh on these players because it's a very grueling schedule right now. I think they were saying that within the next 30 days, we had 10 games or something crazy like that. And no other team is playing in 4 competitions like we are. And they're not playing games as quick and as fast as we are. So some slight leeway to the players, even if we aren't playing well. Like some of the games recently, you could say that the games every 3 days is clearly taking its toll. So something to note. Thinking about this game today, the starting lineup, I thought Ten Hag was going to play a bit of a weakened lineup or maybe rest some more players. But in reality, he just rested, I think, Luke Shaw and Varane. So, yeah, like obviously you can see that, like he has done in most of our cup games, especially you'll see in my other match reactions, he's taking it very seriously with our starting lineups. And it's clear that he wants to win a competition. And he's, especially in his first season, he wants to lay down a marker and set the tone for the team for the months and the seasons ahead. So we played a very strong starting lineup and we'll take it into the positives because in the end, we've won 3-0. And when you're winning 3-0, it's hard not to be positive, to be honest. But there are some negatives, but I'll get into that later. Let's talk about the first half, especially in terms of the positives. I thought that we came out flying from the traps in the first 20 minutes. And I thought, because Nottingham Forest, the crowd was really up for it. They were backing their players. And we kind of quietened them down for a lot of the first 20 minutes, I thought. And then the Marcus Rashford goal to make it 1-0. What more can we say about this guy? I'm sorry, but what more can we really say? And I was going to say, I don't really exaggerate, but maybe I do sometimes. But genuinely, that goal he scored today is reminiscent of the prime Cristiano Ronaldo at Man United from when he was first coming through. That strong, dribbling, quick from the wing. And that goal was quite similar to, I think, a goal against Fulham that Ronaldo was on before. But the way he scored that goal, let's talk about it, yeah? Picked it up from near the halfway line, ran at his defender. The pace he was going at, and to be able to control the ball at that pace and hold off defenders at the same time and have the awareness to go direct to goal was phenomenal. And the way, even before he took the shot, he did a little step over to make a bit of space away from 2 defenders. And then the shot itself, left foot. I don't remember the last time Marcus scored with his left foot or a shot with that power with his left foot. And then the finish to get it near post past the keeper. Maybe some slight question marks from the keeper, but I don't think he even expected it. He just took the shot off so quickly, was so accurate, had so much power. The run, the dribble, the step over, the finish, genuinely outrageous. Outrageous. Marcus Rashford, MBE. The form he's on, he must be one of the most informed players in the world right now. And even the rest of his performance in that game, I thought recently he'd been a bit sluggish. The Arsenal game, I thought he played well. The Palace game before that, and I think, was it Wolves maybe? Oh no, sorry, not Wolves, maybe Bournemouth. I thought, yeah, Bournemouth game, he was a bit sluggish. Obviously, he's been scoring anyway. But today, he looked so on form and so lean. The way he was gliding along the pitch, taking on his man. His shots were fantastic today, on target. And hearing the United fans sing the whole game, by the way, I could only hear United fans the whole time. The United fans were unreal, but hearing them sing the Marcus Rashford song, genuinely, I had goosebumps. The form he's on right now, unstoppable. Shout out Marcus Rashford. Other than Rashi, individually, I'm not going to lie, I want to shout out Weghorst, because I'm sure he must know that he's obviously wouldn't be a lot of United's fans' first choice, maybe not even the manager's first choice, but because of the situation we're in terms of spending money, we've gone out and got him on a loan, and genuinely, you could really argue, would Martial have had the same impact on this game as Weghorst? I'm not so sure. Like, on current form, I think in the big games, Martial is good because of his technicality. He's good at linking up play. He's good at holding the ball. But especially against the lesser sides, like the more physical sides, Weghorst today, I thought, I don't want to say he was outstanding, but I thought he did his job very well. Pressing from the front. He doesn't stop running, by the way. Like, even if he gives the ball away, he'll run back and try to get the ball back for his team. Even if he has to drop pass into our own half, he doesn't mind. And even when he's up front, when the Nottingham Forest defenders have the ball, he doesn't stop working. He goes for every single ball, presses whenever he can. And other than that, his link-up play, I thought today, you can see a bit of a relationship forming with Christian Eriksen and Weghorst. Like, Eriksen, especially Eriksen, the type of player to find Weghorst with pretty much ease, or whenever he can, or whenever he spots a run, he'll probably find Weghorst or a striker like Weghorst. But Weghorst and Eriksen were linking up well, especially when we had the ball, say like in defence or midfield, and Martinez or Eriksen is whipping it into Weghorst. His first touch was really good. He was linking it off well first time out to the wings or back into the middle, or he was holding it up and then passing off. Had a couple 1-2s with Christian Eriksen as well. And his goal, let's be real, that was great reactions, firstly. To be aware and alert after Anthony's taken a shot, to be on the move and look out for the next opportunity to try and get a shot off. And then the finish, that's not an easy finish. On the bounce, he could have gone with his left foot, decided to go with the outside of his right foot, and that is a top finish, to be fair to him. So shout out Weghorst. I thought a very, like, if I was to give him a rating, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 today. Or maybe a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Genuinely a top performance from Weghorst. I saw he got a big pat on the back and a big hug from the manager when he come off as well. Shout out Weghorst. Keep doing that and you're not going to be doing wrong. Other than that, individually, again, Christian Eriksen, I thought genuinely he was a step above a lot of the other players on the pitch. And I heard Gary Neville give the man of the match to Martinez. I'm going to come to my man of the match later, but spoiler alert, it might be Eriksen. Genuinely, every time he got on the ball, the composure, the classiness, I thought he was the best player technically on the pitch, maybe bar Rashford, because Rashford was flying that game. But yeah, genuinely, there was a 20-minute period in the game in the first half, that last 20 minutes of the first half, where I thought we were coming under a bit of pressure, and the game was really end-to-end. But I thought Eriksen was the only one that whenever he got the ball, he slowed down the tempo to his time and controlled the game. Especially second half, it was like he was breezing through the game. And he was definitely our most composed and controlled player. And the only person who was keeping the ball and making the ball do the work rather than our players. We'll take it on to the third goal as well. Bruno Fernandes. And you know what? Shout out Elanga, because he come off the bench and that assist he got for Bruno, I didn't even know he had that in his locker, to be honest. And I'm not saying it was a great pass or a very difficult pass, but you'd be surprised because Elanga hasn't really shown much, to be honest, other than 1 goal previously or 2 goals previously. But it was a good assist for Bruno, good awareness to chip it through. And Bruno, a good finish. Should the keeper do better there? I think maybe the Forest keeper should do better. I couldn't even tell you the Forest keeper's name. But yeah, I think he probably should have done better. But Bruno's got a goal. Can't complain. That's our skipper. And other than that, in terms of the team performance, I think that the first half was a bit nervy. Well, especially the last 20 minutes of the first half. But then the second half, I thought we played very well in terms of controlling Nottingham Forest, controlling the crowd, really authoritative, made it comfortable. And say, for example, in some of the, like, let's take the Crystal Palace game. I thought like we rested on our laurels and didn't really go for kill a goal. Today, I didn't think that was the case. I thought we were trying to create chances, just trying to get a goal. Let's take it on to the negatives now. And I guess most of the negatives, or all of the negatives, are basically from the first half, to be honest, because I don't know what happened after we scored the goal. But this happens in quite a few games, and I've mentioned it before, but we just seem to get really complacent after we score a goal. And you can even look at the Arsenal game. We scored a goal and they scored straight away. This seems to be happening to us quite a lot. And luckily, against smaller teams, we ain't really been punished. Like today, we almost got punished by Surridge, and it was good. It was a great finish, to be fair to him. And for the the 10, 15 minutes after we scored, we kept getting countered on, and it was just so easy for them. And this is no disrespect, but it's Nottingham Forest. It shouldn't be happening that easily. So I don't know what's wrong, but Ten Hag really needs to drill something into the boys and get them to be focused at all times. It's 90 minutes. Hold your focus. And you know what? That Surridge goal, yeah, great finish, whatever. Who does my man think he is doing the Ronaldo celebration? Like, where has this disrespect come from? Because I don't understand. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Which brings me back to Saka as well, yeah? In the Arsenal game, I think Saka is a great footballer. But you got to question his character. Like, man's doing a Marcus Rashford celebration after he scored. Bruv, who the hell are you to Marcus Rashford? Marcus Rashford is probably the guy that you looked up to. Marcus Rashford helped out poor kids during COVID. Marcus Rashford was our Prime Minister. Who the hell do you think you are doing Marcus Rashford celebration? Like, show some respect. The lack of class by these Arsenal guys, lack of class by Surridge. It's a disrespect, bro. I don't accept it, to be honest. Like, you don't see none of our players going out and doing a celebration that another player's done on their shit team. Like, where's the class gone, man? Where's the class? You wouldn't see Rashford doing Saka's celebration, whatever it is. No one even knows what Saka's celebration is. Anyway, back to the negatives. I'm sorry. Just had to get that out there, man. Lindelof, I thought, was a bit shaky in the first half. I think he did get a lot better in the second half. He was reading the game a lot better. But the first half, I think, I can't really blame him, to be honest. He hasn't really played a lot. I'm sure he has a bit of a lack of confidence because clearly the manager hasn't got faith in him to be our number one centre-back, unfortunately. So I don't really blame him. And he doesn't have a lot of match fitness either. So first half, I thought he was a bit shaky, but he did turn it around in the second half at least. Was very physical and solid and read the game well. Other than that, I thought, you know what? I'm very surprised to say this, but Casemiro worried me a little today. I just think he weren't really cutting about the pitch like he usually does. In possession, he was a bit sloppy. Even in possession, he was taking his time a little too much and he was getting robbed by Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson quite a few times. So I'm not really sure why. Obviously, he had the one game rest against Arsenal because of suspension. Something to be a little bit concerned about, because usually you'd expect him to be one of our best players every time. So anyway, I'll let him have it. Everyone's allowed one game off and we've won the game 3-0 anyway. He looked pretty casual throughout most of the game, to be honest. Didn't really look like his fiery self, but I'll let him have one game off. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, to me today, he looked a bit heavy-footed. Is that because he hadn't played a lot of games and now he's had a big run of games? Maybe he's a bit tired, a bit lethargic. I was a bit concerned. He was giving the ball away a little. Anthony, I forgot to mention in the positives, by the way, I thought Anthony worked really hard and is starting to be a bit more effective on the ball, a bit more direct. But maybe he needs to do a little bit more, needs to be a bit more efficient. I thought Weghorst was really efficient today. That's the word I'd use for Weghorst. But Anthony just needs to do a bit more. Had a good chance to score as well, but couldn't manage to score. But I thought he was linking up well with Weghorst nonetheless. Other than that, I just think some of our players were dwelling on the ball a little too much. Maybe Bruno Fernandes, obviously he scored the goal, but he could have been a lot more efficient in this game and a lot more productive. The amount of times he gets on the ball, he could have done a lot more. And his decision making, it's not slapping right now. And I just need a bit more from Bruno because clearly he's got the talent in him, but it's just like his brain isn't always the sharpest for some reason. Anyway, let's go to a match roundup, and I'm going to start off with my man of the match. I'm going to give it to Christian Eriksen. I thought he was the best player on the pitch, to be honest. Or one of them. Him or Rashford, in my opinion. I thought Martinez had a great game as well, by the way. I think Gary Neville gave the man of the match to Martinez. He had the most touches, most passes, most successful passes, most tackles in the game. But for me, that's standard for him now. Like, the guy is an absolute tank. Even with his bandage and black eye, like, you go for any header. His passing is sensational. Great game from Martinez. But to be honest, that's an average performance for Martinez. Like, that is his standard. So that's why I genuinely thought Christian Eriksen was the man of the match. I thought when Forest was putting a bit of pressure on us and made the game a bit open, he was the only one in the midfield that was controlling the game. And even in the second half, he was the only one with composure, controlled the game, as I mentioned before. Looking ahead now, Reading, FA Cup, 4th round this Saturday. Me, Saib and Ryan are going to be there as well. So watch out for that vlog. And then we've got Nottingham Forest in the second leg next Wednesday or Tuesday at Old Trafford. I'm going to be there as well for that one. I kind of wish we kind of conceded a little bit today or 1-2-0 because maybe Ten Hag would have played a bit of a strong side. But now I'm going to that game. He's probably going to play a weakened side because we're obviously 3-0 up. But anyway, the Reading game, let's go for another win. Ten Hag's taking his cup competition seriously. I think he's going to play a pretty strong side against Reading. I'm looking forward to it. Going to Old Trafford again, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we've put these run of a draw and a defeat out of the way now. Get back to winning ways. Marcus Rashford is still scoring, which is unbelievable. Look, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Man United are winning again. Rashford is scoring as usual. This is the Between the Lines podcast. I'm your host, Adnan. See you on the next one. See you on Saturday for the match vlog. Peace out. Between the Lines.